Hey TOTALmtg fans, it's this week's episode of Deck Tech Tuesday, and this is a complete contrast to last week's episode where I showcased you my favourite deck in Modern, the ever so expensive Jeski Nahiri. So this week I'm going for a complete opposite. One of the guys who commented, good old Taylor, commented, said he'd like to see some real budgety decks in this week's Quick Question Sunday. So if you haven't seen that, go back on the playlist and see the question from this week. And this is a budget deck that I'm sure hopefully a lot of you will like. It may be a little known, it might be well known, it might not be. But first of all, let's have a look at these sleeves. So you can see the name of the deck. It is a Lost in the Woods deck. And I got this deck a while ago, put it together, pimped it out as much as I could. As in, you know, a budget pimp, if I would like to say. Starting off with these sleeves. Look at those angry trees there. Angry trees. Right, so let's go to the deck. What the deck is all about and what it's built around is this card. Lost in the Woods. We run 4 of these. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a forest card, remove that creature from combat. Put the reveal card on the bottom of your library. So this is the whole deck and what it's all about. We have forest aplenty in this deck, 40 in total. And it is, you know, if you're into decks that, you know, you like a deck that's really cheap, fun to play for you, but not for your opponent. You like frustrating opponents, this is the deck for you. And it's not even blue, it's green. So we're starting off with 4 Lost in the Woods. Then we go on to our fog effects. We got a full playset of Druid's Deliverance. You get to prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to you, and you can populate if you can at the same time. So we got 4 of them. Now we have 4 fogs. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn. So this is another fog effect. Stop the damage if we haven't got, you know, this buys you time till you get to your Lost in the Woods. And when I say pimp, we got 4 different arts of fogs. Yes, guys, I know. I've laid the money out in this deck. And then this is like our separate sort of win con, Sands of Delirium. 4 of these, target player puts the top X cards of his or her library into their graveyard. So hopefully we got, you know, we've got a hell of a lot of lands, and if we're not doing anything end of turn, we can hopefully mill them. This is what the Sands does. So we're going to run 4 of them. We also have a couple of Bramble Crushes. Like I did say, it is budget. It does cost 4 sorcery, but it destroys non-creature permanent. So we can destroy, you know, anything but a creature, annoying planeswalkers, you know, lands, anything like that. Bramble Crush runs as a couple of to deal with them. And then our other win con, shall we say, Howl of the Night Pack. Put a 2/2 Green Wolf token into the battlefield for each forest you control. So we got a couple of them. As we get to the forests, we are, like I said, we run 40 forests. And what I did with this deck, I've got 40 different art forests. Now, you know, you must say, oh my god, this is that. But this is what I say when I pimp the deck out. I'm not going to go through all of them, but basically, this is what I did with the deck. I went through all my forests and picked out 40 different forests. It's a fun deck, guys. This week's Deck Tech, you know, last week was, you know, a tournament winning deck. This is a fun deck. Take it to your F&M. Annoy a few people and you might get a few lucky results. So there's not much more I can say about the main deck. I mean, basically this is main deck. It's an $8 deck I worked out, you know, which is absolute budget beyond budget. It doesn't really have a sideboard, so I'm not including the sideboard in, you know, in the price. But I've got a few ideas what I use occasionally in the sideboard that you can use. You can bring in your own stuff, maybe tweak it a little bit. But you can see the idea. The idea is fog effects, prevent all damage. You're Lost in the Woods, well, obviously prevent damage. You hope to pull some of those 40 forests that you've got in there. And then cast Howl of the Night Pack and hopefully get lots of 2/2s to finish the game if you're not milling. That is the idea of the deck. One more time, look at those sleeves. So, the sideboard cards, you know, got an option. You know, maybe cards, you know, obviously some of these cards aren't budget, but, you know, sideboard is up for debate. You can put in what you want. You know, Relic of Progenitus was an idea. Deal with graveyards. Engineered Explosives might be a good bit of removal. Windstorm, possibly. Flyers are a problem. Maybe you want one of these in your sideboard. Deals X damage to each creature with flying. Some more fog effects. Got some clinging mist maybe. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. If you have 5 or less life, which it can be, you know, very, very easy for us, you get to tap all the creatures and they don't untap next turn. Fracturing Gust, destroy all artifacts and enchantments, you gain 2 life, so a bit of life gain. Creeping Corrosion's in green as well, destroy all artifacts. You know, obviously it would affect our Delirium, but, you know, if we get to destroy all artifacts, Creeping Corrosion is a nice card. I think that's a nice foily one there. Also run some Nisses in there. Nisses, you know, if you want to put Nissa in your sideboard, you know, I recommend that. It's on theme. It is, you know, search your library for any number of basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, those lands become 4/4s. So, you know, we've got 40 lands there. You know, maybe this is an idea. Maybe you could put this in the main if you don't want to make it budget. You could put some Nissa Worldwakers in there, and there's just like a little naturalise as well. But anyway, guys, I hope I've hopefully given you some ideas for your sideboard. Maybe you want to chuck a couple of them in the main. But, you know, this is the main deck. It doesn't need a sideboard. There's one plan. It's Fogham. It's basically, you know, Fogham with the Lost in Woods, and then hopefully cast either Millum with the Sands, or put a big Howl of the Night pack down and just do a 1 swing or 2 swing win. That is the deck, guys. Right, this has been this week's episode of Deck Check Tuesday. I really hope you enjoy this totally different deck. Absolute budget modern for $8. You can't ask for anything. You know what I mean? That is budget, guys. Budget. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week. Cheers, guys.